Hey friends, it's Deanna here, and today we are making the Cape Cod romper or cover up. And this is really cute. This pattern is so awesome because it's got the bathing suit with it and the cover up. So you get 2 for 1. So before I get started, let's go ahead and mention our fun fan giveaway that we're having with our YouTube subscribers. All you have to do is comment below and let me know that you've subscribed, and you will be entered for a drawing that we'll do monthly. We do a drawing of $50 gift certificate for Ellie and Max. So go ahead and subscribe if you haven't, and comment below and let me know, and you will be entered for that drawing. So now we're gonna go ahead and get started. I already cut up all my pieces and we are ready to get started. They're right here. Let me put them on my mat. So we're gonna start with our bottoms part, and here's my bottom. Now I am using wovens. If you're using a woven material, which is a non-stretch material fabric, non-stretch fabric, you will have to size up to the next size because of the lack of stretch. If you're using a stretch, then you're good to go. So now, since I'm using the woven, I sized up, and here we're gonna go. I'm gonna look for the right side of my fabric, and we're gonna fold the shorts right sides together. Oh, before we do that, look at the right side of your fabric. We're gonna do a memory hem on the wrong side of your fabric. We're gonna fold up 1/2 inch, and we're not going to sew that hem. It's just a memory. For when you come back to do the hem, you already have a little right there. But since I'm doing wovens, I'm not doing a knit, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do 1/4 inch, and then I'm gonna do another 1/4 inch, because with wovens they tend to, since they're woven, I'm assuming that's why, they tend to fray. So when you're working with wovens, you want to have a double fold. With knits you don't have to, but with wovens you do, because they tend to fray and you don't want them to fray out. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and open that back up and fold right sides together. You got to make sure I'm doing the right size. These little crabs, you can tell the wrong side of the little crabs because they're a little bit hairier on the wrong side. Isn't this so cute? And we're going to go ahead and sew right here at the edge. This is the inside of your shorts. And we're going to do that for both legs. I already did it for my other leg, so I'm doing it for this one. You can do that with your preferred stretch stitch. Where did I put my scissors? I always lose my scissors. I'm doing with my serger. If you're doing with your sewing machine, you want to do, you prefer stretch stitch, and then if you want to do a stretch stitch on the inside, if you're doing wovens, you can do that. So now that that's finished, we're going to go ahead and grab one of our pant legs. We're going to turn it right side out, and we're going to fit it right into the other one. So they're right sides together, and I'm going to meet them right here at the seam at the crotch. And then I'm going to go out to the front, to the top, and pin, and then out to the other side as well, and pin. And now I'm going to go ahead and sew that crotch area together. I am not doing the shorts version. I am doing the romper version. If you're doing the shorts version, if you refer to your instructions, look at how cute these are. It will tell you to go ahead and do the casing for the elastic, and fold down and case the elastic and sew the elastic on, and your shorts are basically done. All you have to do is hem if you're doing the shorts version. But I'm going to go ahead and do the romper. So we're going to move on and work with our with our romper bodice. So I'm grabbing my romper bodice and I'm putting it face up on my board, and I'm putting the other one right on top of it, face down. And I'm going to sew these sides together. So I'm gonna sew the sides together. I'm so excited about this. It is so cute and great for the summertime. It's not just for the beach, you know, you're going anywhere, and this is not just the cover up, it's like a whole dress. If you're doing the cover up, just the dress cover up, it will be the same as this. It'll just be longer like the dress version, but the top will be the same. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to grab these and we're going to fold down 1/4 inch. If you're doing knit, you only have to do it once, one fold down, because like I explained earlier, knits don't really fray. But if you're doing woven, you're gonna do 2. So I'm gonna fold down and fold down again and steam. There we go. My scissors are attaching to my arm. And I'm going to pin, and then I'm gonna sew. Now, if you're doing with knit, you will sew a stretch stitch. So like a zigzag stitch on your sewing machine or a double needle. It's up to you what you want to do. Since I'm doing a woven, I'm just gonna do a straight stitch to close that gap. And I'm gonna do the same thing for the other side. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and then we'll move on to our next step. All right, so I folded that. And what I want to do is I want to go ahead and steam those really nicely so they're flat. Now I'm going to grab, if you are using knit, you don't have to do this, but if you're using a woven, you want to serge along that edge or finish it with a zigzag stitch for the next step. So we're going to do that. If you don't want to finish it or serge it, you can do 1/4 inch in, down, and then another 1/4 inch when we go down again. So we are going down 1/2 inch from the top. So like if you would have done a 1/4 inch in, then you would go down another 1/2 inch, okay? So we're going down 1/2 inch down from the top to create a casing for our strap and steaming. Like I said, with the knit, you don't have to do the serging. You would just fold down like this. And now we're going to do an edge stitch, 1/8 at the edge of that. With a knit, you need to make sure that you're doing a stretch stitch. Since this is a knit, since this is a woven, I'm just doing a straight stitch. But with a knit, you want to do a stretch stitch because it's going to stretch right there. This one will not stretch. And that is the reason why we sized up. I'm just clipping the threads off. Alright, so now that's done right there, ready for the casing, and I did the other side as well. Okay, so now we're going to attach, if you're doing the dress, or this is the top, now what all you would do is you would hem. If you're doing, like I said again, if you're doing the woven, you're doing 1/4 inch up, 1/4 inch up again. If you're doing knit, you just do 1/2 inch and stretch stitch. So this would be done. You'd be done with the top, if you're doing just the top, and you would be done with the gown if you're doing the gown, and then you would move on to the straps. But for right now, we're doing the romper, so we're gonna move on to that. I wanna find the 2 sides, so I'm meeting the front and back seam, and I'm going out to one side, meeting that again, going out to the other side, and then I'm going to do the same thing for the front. I already have the side seam, so I'm going to meet the side seams, and I'm going to go out to the front side seam, going to go out to the back, open it back up. All right, there it is. So now I'm going to grab it, my bodice, and I'm going to turn it inside out, and I'm going to fit it over my bottoms where that raw edge, waist edge meets. We're going to meet them together, right sides together. I'm going to meet at the sides the seam of the sides of the the shorts with the seam of the side, with the side of the shirt, of the bodice, and now the side of the back, the back, and then the side. I'm just matching out those quarter points I'd made. Now that these quarter points are matched, we're going to go down an inch from the seam to create a casing for our we're matching those quarter points that I made earlier, and now we're going to go down an inch from the top. So you can grab your ruler and mark an inch. And what I like to do sometimes is I like to put my pin like sideways where I need to go, and then my machine, it has the lines on it, so that should be good. If I'm doing a long thing and I don't have a marker on my machine, I will just draw like a erasable marker line on my sewing machine to know where my edge of my fabric is gonna hit, and just feed it through. So I'm gonna go in on my machine with a straight stitch, and I am going to do that inch casing. I'm going all the way around. You shouldn't have to stretch the fabric at all or anything. It should just meet together. Perfectly good right there. Almost there. Leave an opening. I didn't tell you this. Leave an opening of 1 inch or 2 where you're going to insert your elastic. So I left an opening right there. So I just went all the way around and I left an opening right there where I'm going to insert my elastic. Now I'm going to open it, and here it is. And I'm going to iron my elastic, my casing up. I'm getting so excited. My son saw this fabric and he's like, "What are you making?" I'm like, "I'm making a romper." And he's like, "Did you measure me for a romper?" Well, I wasn't planning on this one being for him. It's way too small. So I asked him if he wanted some shorts or something on it. So he's like, "Measure me, measure me." So I'm gonna have to measure him. All right, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna separate the 2 pieces, the liner and the top and the bottom pieces where I sewed them together. And I'm going to trim off very carefully the seam allowance from the bodice only. So the bodice is the one up top, this is the bottoms. So I'm going to really carefully trim that off. Careful that you don't cut anything else. I'm just trimming the top so there's not like a bunch of bulk. Be careful that you don't trim anything else. These fabric scissors, it's nice that they're sharp, but sometimes you have to be careful when you're doing something like this that you don't end up accidentally cutting somewhere else. Because then that is sado. Very sad. I said sado, that's not a word. Silly me. All right, off, that edge is off. And now what I'm gonna do is I want to look and make sure, because, I wanna make sure that I'm doing the right thing. Oh, I am so silly. I left the casing out here. I didn't need to leave a casing, an opening. So I'm gonna go back and close it. Hopefully you didn't already do it. And if you already did it, just go back with me and close it. We'll act like I didn't really say that. I was just joking. Haha, tricked you. You fell for it? You're sewing with me and you get what you get. I make the mistake so you don't have to. All right, now I'm going to do this. Okay, now remember, if you're doing knit, and I forgot to tell you this, when you're sewing that on, you're gonna do a stretch stitch. Okay, I did a straight stitch. You need to do a straight zigzag or a stretch stitch. I'm sorry. Now I'm gonna go ahead and sew this one on. So you can either do a stretch stitch or a straight stitch. Stretch, stretch, stitch, stitch. All right, so I'm just gonna sew it, edge stitch it on, and now I gotta leave an opening for the elastic to go in. So I'm sewing that in with an edge stitch. Make sure that you're not catching anything else. You just want to catch that facing. You don't want to catch anything from underneath. So you want to keep moving that out of the way. Keep moving it out of the way. Keep moving it out of the way. And remember, you are going to leave a casing with this one. So when you get back to the beginning, make sure you're leaving a little casing. We are almost done. All right, casing. Oh, this is gonna be so cute. All right, so where's my casing? Right here. I'm gonna grab my elastic. I'm using a safety pin, and I'm gonna fit it through that opening I left, and going all the way around, feeding it through. Probably be easier for you because my safety pin is really small, and I keep saying I need to get a bigger one, and I never do. So here I am going all the way around. When I get to the end, I'm going to overlap it and sew it shut. Overlap the elastic 1/4 inch, quarter of an inch. Almost there. I should probably put you guys on pause for this. You don't have to sit there and watch me trying to get this elastic in. I'm getting nervous. You guys are making me nervous. I know you don't see that, but like sometimes when I'm doing something like this, tedious, I'm over here like sweating. But I do love sewing with you guys. It's like I'm a crazy lady. It's like I'm talking to myself, but I enjoy it. And then I love when I hear feedback from you guys in the comments. Yes, it makes my day to hear what you've got to say. Even if it's something, even if it's a correction, just let me know. Talk to me. Let me know I'm not alone. Sewing on my own. Come on, you are almost there. Made it almost all the way, and now it's being shy. All right, here it is. I don't know why it's having such a hard time right here. Okay, now we're gonna overlap it 1/4 of an inch, and I'm doing a zigzag stitch right here. And I'm going back and forth on that. And then if this cooperates, I'm gonna pull it in. There we go. I think what happened was that I didn't do my casing quite an inch wide, and so it's struggling to go in here where there's a crab getting in the way. These little crabs are cute, but they can be a little bit of a pain when it comes to sewing them. There we go. Perfecto. If you want to, you can even out the elastic and then put a couple stitches so it doesn't turn on you. I've done that before. But now we're gonna go back right here where I have that casing opening, and I'm going to close it shut. So you just kind of stretch it out and close it shut. And we're almost done with this beautiful romper. Oh my goodness, I almost cut my romper with my dumb scissors. I didn't. I went like, ah! Stopped myself. Look at this cute little thing. Oh, I sewed on it. Did I sew on it or is it, I can't tell. I tell you guys over and over again, make sure that everything's out of the way. And when I sewed that casing close, guess what I did? I didn't make sure that everything was out of the way. And I'm trying to move these stitches really carefully so I don't rip my romper. Oh, sheesh. Saved. All right. I will go back and fix that in a little bit. Good. Woo. Shoo. Shoo-wee. Didn't break it. Still looking cute as ever. All right. So now we're going to do our strap. And like I said, I already did one. I'm going to grab the other one. And I'm going to fold it right sides together. Ooh, this is good. This strap doesn't have crabs on it. I should probably try to make another strap without crabs because this one had a couple crabs in it and it was so hard to turn. They kept getting caught. Now I'm gonna sew that shut. Maybe that would be a good way to tell the front and the back. I'll do the crabs in the front since I already turned it, and the other one on the back. And now I'm gonna go ahead and turn it. I have a turning tool. I don't know where I put it. If you see it, please tell me. Oh, right here in front of me, right in front of my face. We're just gonna turn it. This turning tool works out really, really well. As I say that, it probably won't this time, but maybe it will. Come on, come on. Every time, I'm telling you, every time I say that, this is a good turning tool. Gives me a hard time. It's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna make you look bad. But actually it's not too bad. All right, here it is. My strap is over. So now we're gonna go ahead and steam it open. So that the seam is on the back. Okay, and now I'm just clipping off that edge so that the fuzzies go out. With the fact that this is a woven, I'm gonna fold one and I'm gonna fold another one. If it's knit, you can just fold once. I'm folding twice so it doesn't come unraveled. And then I'm gonna go in with my sewing machine and sew it shut at the edges. And again, you're gonna do the same thing with the other strap. I know it's probably not the correct thing when it comes to sewing machines, but when I'm sewing something this small, I put my pin sideways. I know you're not supposed to do this, but it helps. I'm giving you bad advice. Really bad advice. I leave my pin there, and with my pin, I move it back and forth. Kind of helps me because it's such a small space that my machine wants to eat it. So my pin kind of guides it back and forth. Please don't be mad at me for doing that. Don't yell at me. It's probably not the right thing to do at all. Now I'm gonna go ahead and feed those through my casings. And I know this is gonna give me a hard time right here at the beginning. Come on, because when I folded it and folded it, it's kind of thick. Oh. I'm telling you, when I say, oh, it's so easy, blah, 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 it gives me a hard time. And when I say, oh, it's so hard, it like cooperates in like no time. All right, now all we have left to do is our hem. As soon as I put this through, we'll just have to hem, and that's it. And like I said, I've already said it a million times, you're probably tired of hearing it. Once you do this, if you want to, you can put, you can kind of put a few stitches in right at the middle to keep it from going out. It's up to you. If you want to do that so that you keep it from coming out in the wash or whatever. Make it safe for your kids not to pull that strap out. Oh my gosh, how cute is this thing? So now I'm gonna do the hem. Again, I already have this memory hem right here. So this is good because now all I do is just fold it back over. And that memory hem that I did earlier. Steam and hem. If you're doing a knit, you're gonna do a straight, a zigzag or stretch stitch of your choice, or you do it on your, you can top stitch it, whatever you want. If you're doing a woven, then you'll do, you can do a straight stitch. Sorry, I'm losing my mind. This whole straight stitch, zigzag stitch, woven, stretch, knit. You get what I'm saying, right? I hope you do. Okay, this one I didn't fold right because I did half an inch without, because I thought knit. So I'm gonna have to redo it. But other than that, this is it. I'm just going to go ahead and hem it, and our romper is done. Isn't it so cute? Please let me know if you have any questions with anything I did. Comment below and let me know. Remember to enter our fun giveaway, so just go ahead and comment below. Subscribe if you haven't. Please like, comment, share. And if you are not a part of our Facebook group or Instagram group yet, please come join us so we can see your creations and you can see what we're creating over at Ellie and Mac online. And I hope you have a good rest of your day and a great summertime, and enjoy all your sews, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!